Kathy, there's black pepper here. I was sitting here thinking, eating a sandwich. Been watching some shows, but it makes you think. Depending more on the land and less on the stores, which are we as a human race? The food in the store keeps going up. A lot of it's GMO. Health-wise, I think it's affecting us on some things, not all things. The benefit of GMO is you have food, but it's been genetically modified. It's becoming the insects becoming resistant to it. So it's hang if you do and hang if you don't. Depending more on the land to survive, it means learning how to hunt for your food, learning how to harvest your meat, processing it, knowing what you're looking at. If you don't know what you're looking at, don't touch it, don't eat it. That's just bottom line. It's a lot to think about. I go out, I look at plants, I study them, I take pictures of them. If I'm not certain about them, I don't know if they're edible or not. If I'm not comfortable with the plant, I'm not going to eat it. It's not going to be in my mouth because it could be very well poisonous. I do have knowledge, but it's an everyday learning process about things. With any kind of plant, any kind of herb, supplement for medical reasons or whatever, you've got to be cautious. You've got to do it in moderation. So, the same principle as living in our everyday society, we have medications that we take, and I'm among them. My medications help keep me under control, but there is, of course, side effects to anything. But things happen, and then you don't have your medication anymore. That's something to think about there. So, should we, as a general rule, depend less on the stores and more on our land? There's a lot of people out there is very codependent on the stores. They're very used to it. They get their medicines there. And I like the convenience of it myself. I'm just as guilty. But I also know I can depend on the land, and I'm out here more harvesting wild foods, preparing them. So, that's what I'm saying. What do you think? Do you think we need to be dependent more on our land, hunting wild game, and less on the stores? I know a lot of people freezes everything, and that's fine, but if the power goes out, then everything in your freezer will go bad. People cans it, and that's good. But if something happens, you're still going to have a limited supply. But it'll last a lot longer than something that's been frozen. If you dehydrate it, it takes up less room. And if you seal it properly, it will last for many, many, many years. But then again, you got to make sure you have water that you can add into it to rehydrate it, or maybe something you like beef jerky or something that you could eat. So there's a good and bad on all of it. But I want to depend more on the land, not just for cost. The food I eat is what I harvest. I'm soaking some pheasant back mushrooms right now. Sliced them up, soaked them. I'm going to fry them up. I'm not beyond when I'm out in the woods, grab a dandelion flower and eat it because of the potassium and things in there. I'm not beyond a point of taking wild violets and eat on them, or purslane or creeping Charlie. If I feel bad, I'll eat creeping Charlie. But just like anybody else, I still go to the store and get a lot of medications, and that's good, but it's not good. I did not make up my usual solution last year like I usually do. I usually take and make up a syrup with a mixture of bone set and Joe Pye and other plants. I didn't do it. The year before I had it, but I allowed myself to get too sick, and I did not take it. What I should have. Normally I do. But I didn't do it that time, and I got really sick. So that's something to really think about. I mean, this is just my thoughts on depending more on the land, less on the stores, because with costs and health issues, and Mother Nature provides us food. It can make your food in the cabinets go a lot longer. It's not for everybody. Most people don't want to do it. A lot of people have gotten away from it. So, I don't know, it's just something to think about. I mean, I think more about it every day. As I get more mature in the years, I think more about depending less on the stores and the side effects and the costs. So, really, I think for me, the land outweighs the stores. But it's all up to you. So this live prepper here, I want you to be safe, be happy. Bless you all.